a good time. Put a smile on your face, yeah. KB Cam and Elation Radio. Even brighten your day and help you through the night. Bring you good music. KB Cam and Elation Radio. And here's your host, KB Cam.
Do you have an upcoming event? Well, I encourage you to book Beyond Defense Family for an amazing experience. Beyond Defense is a talented group of men and women who have toured the world to display their talents of song and ministry. Did I forget to mention multi-award winners? They're your one-stop shop for making your event the best in the city. Book Beyond Defense today at beyonddefense.org. Click Menu, then Contact. Beyond Defense, your audience will thank you.
Lord, where do I go? Left or right? I can't seem to see you nowhere in sight. My mind is feeling so confused right now. But I love you, Lord, and I just want to keep my vow to love you with all my heart, mind, and soul. And remember that no matter what, you're always in control. Standing at the crossroads. Help me, God, to fight this fight. Yeah. Standing at crossroads. Standing at crossroads. Oh, standing. Lord, I need to hear a word from you. Without you, Lord, I don't know what I'd do. I need you every day to lead and guide. I've got to have you, Lord, by my side. You know the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. But I'm so glad you came to give us peace, love, and joy. Standing, trying to do what's right. Dear Lord, help me, Lord, help me, Lord. Know where to go, gotta find my way. Lord, help me, please, all I can say. I need you, Lord, to help me, Jesus. I need you, Lord, trying to decide what's wrong or right. Trying to decide left or right. Crossroads, standing at the crossroads. I'm standing at, trying to decide what's wrong or right. Trying to decide left or right. Standing at, standing at, standing at, standing at the crossroads, standing at the crossroads of life.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to Beyond the Radio.
Welcome to Beyond the Radio, and you better be smiling.
Beyond the fences in the building.
Yes. Welcome right here on Beyond the Radio. This your host, your main man, the coach, David Benton, and I am in the building. And you know what? I am smiling. That's right. Now, you know what? I'm not smiling. I'm smiling. So you know I am grinning real big because we got a wonderful show tonight. And we shout out to Elation. Shout out to Kimmy Kim. We love you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We come up here. We know we pray for, so we can just go on in. We are covered because we have some prayer warriors on Elation. We thank you, Elation. So we got a wonderful show. We are ready. We're ready to get it in, ready to get close. I'm just happy. That's right. It's about to turn up. I'm not going to say it's going down. I'm going to say it's about to turn up. So with that being said, can I get a drum roll? Infamous, the Queen, 2017 Gospel Choice Award winner, the Coach, the Angel, Coach Shay Samuels. Are you in the building?
Coach Shay Samuels is in the building. And
Coach
I'm
Shay.
smiling.
Yes. Coach, are you ready for a wonderful show?
Family. Yes, I am. I'm excited. I'm really excited.
So how you been? How you been? Talk to us.
Well, this weekend has been fabulous. I've been trying to beat you to the punch to ask you first how your week been, because you've always been so diligent with asking us how our week is. But my week has been full. I can tell you that. But this weekend, I do need to give a great big shout out to my baby brother, who turned 40 years old this Saturday, and everyone laughed because they were like, wait, so who's the oldest? Is it him or is it you? And they didn't realize that I had a 40-year-old brother, or they didn't realize that I was as old as I am. But I have a 40-year-old brother, so shout out to him. His name is Keenan, but we call him AJ, Ace, everything under the sun. He is my baby, my rider, and you guys will see his information and stuff on. I don't share many photos on social media about my family, but this one was dear to me. So we had a great time. Shout out to all of his friends who came out to support him in Florida this weekend, and we just had an amazing time. Other than that, trying to stay hydrated. I feel like the heat got on my back and didn't even realize that it did go down, Coach David, because that's what happened with me. I went down. So just trying to stay hydrated. So how about you? How's your week been?
My week, you know what? I had a phenomenal week. To be honest, I'm a dad, doing the time in prison and my kids growing up without me. Just being able to be hands-on, my 6-year-old daughter, just being a great dad to her. So I got a chance to spend more time with my daughter. And also meeting these new producers and really, getting a relationship with them and the blessing that come along with the integrity part. When people see you for who you really are and they just gravitate to you and be able to, be a part of the team and be a blessing. So that's how beautiful it has been. It's been a beautiful week.
Yes. And it's cool that you share that with us, too, because if you go on your page, just seeing some, look, she was thirsty one day. See, I'm talking about me staying hydrated, but she wanted some cold water this weekend, so much so that she sang it to us. She wanted some cold water. She wanted some cold water.
Well, I am ready for tonight. Are you ready, Coach Shay? Because I'm ready.
I'm ready. I'm absolutely 100% ready. Excited. I'm ready.
Yes. Is it a way? I mean, should we bring in a drum roll or can we get another drum roll? I don't know. Can we get a drum roll?
I think I want to be the drum roll. I was going to say, I think I want to be the drum roll. So hold up.
Oh, beat you to the punchline. The new Beyond the Fence artist who I am so happy to meet, be able to be with. Phenomenal woman. That was her who you heard in the beginning, the introduction to the Beyond the Radio show. It's her, the infamous, the beautiful woman of God, songstress, entrepreneur, Miss Tanya Caesar. Are you in the building?
Beyond the Fence in the building. That's right. PC, are you with me? Oh, yeah, we have certainly gone nowhere.
Yes. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, Miss Tanya Caesar. Miss Tanya Caesar, I'm going to just say it like this. I'm going to just start out and ask you, Tanya Caesar, do you get a lot of people asking you, are you some kin to Shirley Caesar? And are you or are you not?
That is hilarious because I do get the question asked quite often wherever I go. They want to know, am I related? Am I her niece? And all I always say is, I never know. I possibly may be.
That's right. That's a good political answer.
I don't want to deny ownership. I may be. I don't know.
Coach Shay, it's on you.
Yeah, I think too with her being out of South Carolina. So, my godmother is actually, if you see her on anything social media driven, Biddy Newborn. Shout out to my godmother, who follows her heavily, and they'll be in the Waffle House, and she always makes jokes about the fact that she says shut up a lot, and she gets her on social media all the time saying, Biddy, shut up. She always gets her saying that. So the good thing is that both of you can sing. So both of you guys are from up that way, and then you both can sing. So definitely a blessing. But I wanted to start by saying I welcome you. The Beyond the Fence family, we are an exclusive bunch, and we rarely bring people on board with us. You really have to be heaven sent. And so we have had a very, very great group of artists. Shout out to DJ G Will, G Weezy is what I call him, and shout out to Ama E. Neely. Shout out to DB Jr. and, of course, David Benton. But we have had a group of people over the last couple of years who have been very successful in what they do, how they do it, with a push of Beyond the Fence. So we thank you for trusting us first and foremost. But what I would love for you to do is share your story. We have an amazing topic tonight that Coach David will be talking about the next half of this show, but I just wanted you to share your story with everyone regarding, God's timing, just how Beyond the Fence came into your life, but just God's timing. Can you bless someone tonight with that? You were in a situation where a friend shared your some feedback on your music. You started doing certain things, and Beyond the Fence just came in the building. So can you share with our audience how that happened for you?
Yes. Such an awesome timing. God's timing is everything. I sang a song today. It was like, he may not come when you want him, but he's on time. And with that being said, as you forestated, I was traveling with one of my friends from an event, and she was listening to my music along with some other people that we listen to, and she wanted to be honest with me, and I don't have a problem with being honest because I'm looking for God's timing and moment in getting me straight to where I need to be as an artist or as a person, and when I go out to minister, that songs are doing what they're supposed to do. So she began to share with me that she loved what I do, she liked my songs, but she felt like it was missing something, and she couldn't really go into details. She couldn't really find the niche of the word. But when we left and parted from each other, I began to seek God. And I was like, okay, God, I'm missing something. And I'm not really sure what it is, but I need your help. I need your guidance. And I just began to talk with him in reference to the music side of me, education-wise, as far as what I know, what I didn't know, and the people, the right connection. I didn't want just a good connection. I want a God connection. And with that being said, that later that week, well, maybe not that week, a couple of weeks later, actually, I became under the weather with COVID. And while I was on that quarantine time, I normally don't look for friends on Facebook. I just usually post, say what I have to say, move on, move forward. But God spoke to me, and he said, you need to look at some of these people. So I was like, okay, and I began to scroll, and I found the awesome Mr. David Benton. His name came up, and I began to look and see. But the thing is, I saw radio hosts. I didn't see record labels. So what was so awesome was
tell the truth, TC.
I did not see that, so I know that this is a God connection because I had no idea. So I was like, oh wow. So I saw other people doing that week as well. You know, that were radio hosts, and I was like, I have a drive to send my music to see, you know, to get it played. So I sent that Sunday morning. The Spirit of the Lord spoke to me and said, you send a message. And I sent the message, and I was like, I'd like to know if I could send you a few songs and you could give me some feedback. And I was like, okay. So I sent it, I think, that Sunday evening. That Monday afternoon, I received a message in reference to, yes, are you ready for the feedback? When is a good time? So nevertheless, the conversation went on that Tuesday afternoon, I believe it was, around 6. And the conversation started with him giving the feedback, and wonderful Miss Shay came in, and they both began to expound on what they do and who they are and what they represent. And I was just, you know, I was eating up like a child at the candy store because I was like, oh, these people are talking to me. So this is good. But lo and behold, before the conversation was over, it was like, and you know, we have a record label. And my mouth dropped over, and of course, they couldn't see that. And I was on the other end, and my eyes began to fill with water, and my mom was like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm doing good. So by the end of the conversation, you know, I was being invited to join an awesome team Beyond the Fence. I love the story behind Beyond the Fence. It blessed me so, Mr. David, in reference to how you got to where you were and how God even moved regardless of your situation or circumstance. Behind the fence, God still brought you beyond the fence. So the name itself brings an awesome blessing, because if people don't know your story, they don't know how you get that glory. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's just so awesome to be connected. I have been on a spiritual high for the last, I don't even know how many weeks. I look forward to every Wednesday.
I love it.
I'm like, oh my God, what is today? It's Wednesday. Okay, everybody move. Shut up. Be quiet. Move. So it's like, don't bother me. Don't bother me. So you know, it's so inviting, because I've learned so much in the last 3-4 weeks, and I'm like, oh my God, calls are coming in from different places that I didn't expect in reference to, you know, can you do this? Can you make a playlist for me for my radio station? And can you do this? And I'm like, okay, God. So it's amazing, the quality doors and the doors that God opens for you, no man can close. That's what's so awesome about it. Right. So for you guys to talk to me on the level that you did and offer me the opportunity that you did when I didn't even ask for that opportunity, listen, nothing. You know, Mr. David kept saying, I don't know why I'm doing this. I ain't never did it before. And blah, 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 blah. And God was like, this is the Lord's doing. And it's marvelous.
The one thing I can say, though, that, you know, I have a song entitled Seasons. It's just Ecclesiastes 3 front and back, but to everything there is a season. And so many people may wonder why, you know, this isn't happening for me, or how come, you know, you're trying hard and you just don't see yourself getting where you want to be. We have a number of artists who have been attached to other labels or to other groups of people and may not have been as successful. And, you know, I've learned in this world, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And who you know helps you to know what you need to know. And so you just have to really, really, really connect with the right people. Coach David, I'm going to hand it back to you just for a second, and then I'll take the baton back from you.
All right. Now, this is what I want to ask you. So tell the people where you're from, and also who is Tanya Caesar?
Well, I am from Orangeburg, South Carolina. It's about 50 miles from Columbia and about 55 or 60 miles from Charleston. So I'm in between that bracket, but I'm from Orangeburg, South Carolina, originally from Santee, South Carolina, which is about 30 minutes away from here. But I am like you said, Tanya Caesar, a psalmist, singer-songwriter. I am married, 35 years this past Monday.
Yeah,
with 4
awesome.
Yes,
Oh.
with four full-grown sons and 2 grandchildren. And I enjoy what I do. I love singing. I started singing at the age of 4, started songwriting at the age of 19. Since that time, God has moved in various places, various areas. He has allowed me the opportunity to do things, go places, and to just minister to God's people. And, my vision is to uplift, inspire, and to encourage people through my music. So when I walk into the place, I know God has already sent me there, and he also knows who's going to be there. So I just ask him for guidance and direction in what I do, what I sing, so that it blesses and people leave there changed.
That's right. Also, here you are on the other end now as a guest, but you're normally the actual host. So tell us, you're a radio personality as well. So tell us about you as a radio personality, and tell us about your radio show.
Okay, well, my radio personality is Talented T, and that name came about 2 years ago when I had my own show on WDRB out of Charlotte, North Carolina. It's an internet radio show, iHeart radio show, and Passion, Purpose, and Power. It is the name of the show, and it actually gave me an opportunity to interview different entrepreneurs and guests and talk about their passion and what they like to do and what they feel that their purpose in life was. And, the idea that the power that they've gained since they've learned what they learned. So the 3 words actually connect to each other, but it also is an opportunity for me to get to know other people and get to find out what they bring to the table. They may have something I need. I may have something they need. So that show particularly is not on the air currently. However, I'm sorry. As of last Thursday evening, I gained an opportunity to revive the show. So I'm actually working on that to come alive locally now instead of traveling to Charlotte on our local 93.7 WOCS gospel radio show. So on Sunday mornings at 6:30 to 7, I'm on 95.7 old school gospel radio show for 30 minutes, but I'm a co-host, and I have a great time just sharing the gospel with others and talking about what the current events are.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Speaking of radio, when I was researching you, I was telling Coach David about this, but when I was researching you in the beginning, I noticed that you had a number of people. Facebook will show you who your mutual friends are. And anytime we meet people, the Bible does tell us that we need to know who we labor among. So when I go through the whole page, I scrub all the way back to like 2012, 4 or 5, whenever you first got on Facebook. But I actually ran across one of your interviews with Miss Christina Lockett on the Christina Lockett Show. And I was like, wow, so we are really connected. But a fun fact of that is if you hear her opening to the show, that's actually me doing the song.
Stop. Oh, my God, that is awesome. Yes, I love it. So I had with her.
Yes. So, she had reached in and we have met one another a few times, but it's amazing when people can, and this is what we're talking about, like it's just who you know. And so it's amazing when people admire what you do and they have a love for how you do it. And to open up someone's show, and shout out to G. Will, because the opening to our show is our artist G. Will. So if you heard that, the opening to that was G. Will. So just the opportunities that present itself when you are connected to the right people. One of the questions that I do want to ask you is just kind of how you got into the music. Everyone has that story. I was a little Tina Turner, and I always wanted to sing, and I started when I was a year old. I was singing. I had a microphone out of my mom's belly. So what's your story, Miss Tanya?
Well, my story is, hallelujah. Oh, I'm sorry about that. According to my mom, I started singing since I was like 4, maybe 3 and a half or 4, just walking around in the house singing. Growing up in the Baptist church, my mom she recognized the gift itself, and they they had several little, they had a children's choir, of course, but then they had several Baptist conventions and different things. And so, she started, as I grew and continued to sing in the children's choir, the opportunity became available to me whenever they had conventions and different activities. The church would allow me to participate and represent the church. So I began to do, songs as a child, in the conventions and different events and things as such. And it just began to grow. And my mom noticed, she said, this is not just a talent, this is a gift, because I could be somewhere else totally different and I could sing somebody else's song really without hesitation. And that's not to brag, that's the facts. And she would be like, wait a minute. So she told me as I continued to grow, she said, okay, this is different. She sings, but she does more like a little opera line kind of thing. She got that tremble in there. That ain't me. At least I ain't heard it yet. Now, it might be down in there embedded in my soul, but I ain't heard that yet. But singing since the age of 4, being in different conventions and different things like that. But at the age of 15, gave my life to the Lord for real. And it came there with the Holy Ghost, and the Lord just began to really cultivate and teach me how to minister to his people. And he began to, I gained a relationship with him that made the singing different. It was no longer just the same, with the opportunity to minister. And that's what took me to a different level. When I sing, like I tell the people that ask me how I do what I do, when I stand up, God stands up in me. So I don't, it's no longer me when I stand up. Or if I'm sitting and singing, when somebody asks me, I just believe that the Spirit of the Lord is what I allow to use me to minister or say what God tells me to say or sing. So singing since the age of 4 has been, because it's definitely not something that I can say and take credit for. I feel like the one in the Bible that God gave the one gift to. I'm going to cultivate it, and I'm going to grow, and I'm going to let you. So when he come back, he's not going to be worried about me bearing it. So it's not going to be buried. It's going to be absent and quickened. Whew.
I love it. Before we go, we have just a few short minutes before our music break at 10:30. I do want to ask you this. What have you learned out of all of the time that you've been? I know that you have your business hat on, you have your ministry hat on, and, of course, there is a bit of that industry. What have you learned most as valuable to take with you in your future to come in your music or your business or ministry?
One of the, I want to say hardest, but I won't say hardest. One of the biggest lessons to me right now in this place that I am in is the fact that everybody can't go. And that makes it hard. But I'm learning that, sometimes the people you expect to go with you don't go, can't go, won't go. But either way, I'm learning how to trust God for the goal regardless to if people go, if that makes sense. I've been in a where I go, okay, if she can't go with me, I ain't going. Or if they can't travel with me, and God had to really talk to me when I flew to Nashville 2 years ago for the Stella by myself. Initially, I was like, no, I'm not going, and God was like, why are you not going? Audibly, He was like, I'm with you, and I didn't need the reassurance, but I needed it because I was in my flesh saying of people. Physically, because you could physically be attached and sitting by me on a plane, but you may not more than be with me than a man on the moon. So at the end of the day, God is with me, and I'm learning that. Even yet today, I had an experience where I expected something or someone to come be, and they couldn't be, and I did get hurt, disappointed to some degree. But I moved forward, and I heard God say to me again, I'm with you. Whoever's supposed to be there, that's who's going to be there. So I'm learning to purposely fix my attention on not focusing on physical individuals, but to trust and know that God is with me. And when I go where I'm going, He'll be there, or He'll be there when I get there, or He'll be there when I come. So that's one of the lessons I'm really learning now as an entrepreneur, singer, songwriter, all that.
Well, I love it. If you're just tuning in, we are on right now with Beyond the Fence new artist, Miss Tanya Caesar. Coach David, were you about to say something?
No, I was just taking it all in and just, I just love her honesty, and that's a beautiful thing. Just
from day
that's
one.
What we're about, being honest. Yes.
From day one.
That's all. But yeah, it's about that time. It's halftime. It's time to go to our music break, and you are about to hear some more of Tanya Caesar right here in this music break. And after we come back, we're going to get to our topic because it's about to turn up. So, with that being said, where the music at? Where the music at? Where the music at? Where the music at? Where the music at?
So worthy, you are 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 so worthy. Lord, I love you, I glorify your name, and the things you've done in me, I will never be the same. You loose my shackles and you set me free. You're Alpha and Omega, Lord, you're everything to me. You are so worthy. 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 Jesus. So glad that you first loved me, and it's only in your will is where I want to be. You didn't have to die for me, but you did. You gave your life for me so that I might live. You are so worthy. 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 Talking about the Lamb of God. You are so worthy. You are so worthy. Jesus. Lift your voice and worthy is the Lamb of God. Worthy. Awesome Lord you are. Worthy. I lift your name on high. Worthy. I serve till I die. You are so worthy. 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 Jesus. You are so worthy. You are so worthy. I said, Lord, I love you. I praise your name. I lift you up because you will never change. You died for me on Calvary, and because of this I am made free. I said, Lord, I love you. I praise your name. I lift you up because you will never change. You died for me on Calvary, and because of this you're worthy. You're worthy, yes you are. Worthy. Jesus. Worthy. Yeah. What is mine is all mine, all mine. I'll just trust in God's true love. In God's true love. What is mine is all mine, it's all mine. Gotta get up, mind is racing, dreams and chasing, ain't wasting no time. Gotta get up, I won't get stuck. I know what I want and I made up my mind. Gotta get up, mind is racing, dreams and chasing, ain't wasting no time. Gotta get up, I won't get stuck. I know what I want, so I made up my mind.
I gotta get up, I won't get stuck. I'm trusting in the Lord, no matter what comes, yeah, I gotta get up, and I won't get stuck. Depending on His word, 'cause I know that it'll work, and He can never ever fail, He never ever will. My very present help, putting faith over fear. He can never ever fail, and He never ever will. My very present help, putting faith over fear. So we gotta get up, and we won't get stuck. We trusting in the Lord, no matter what comes, yeah, we gotta get up, and we won't get stuck. Depending on His word, 'cause we know that it'll work, and He can never ever fail, and He never ever will. A very present help, putting faith over fear. He can never ever fail, and He never ever will. A very present help, putting faith over fear. So we gotta get up. Ooh, we gotta stay up. Yeah, we gotta get up. Ooh, and we will ever stay up, 'cause we can never ever fail.
Okay. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Beyond the Radio.
Welcome to Beyond the Radio, and you better be smiling.
Beyond the fences in the building.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back to Beyond the Radio. I'm your co-host, your girl, Shay Samuels, Coach Shay Samuels. I'm on with your main man, Coach David Benton, and we have an amazing guest tonight, new artist on the Beyond the Fence label, Miss Tanya Caesar. TC, are you with me, is what I call her. If you are just tuning in, that was her music playing. The first song you heard was Worthy, and the second song was Gotta Get Up. Two amazing singles by Miss Tanya Caesar, and you guys will learn more about how to get her information and music. But first, we got to give a shout-out quickly to our sponsors. Shout out to Paula G. Voice, Lady Wisdom After Midnight. If you heard the promo in the beginning, the infomercial, that was the infamous Miss Paula G. Voice, Lady Wisdom After Midnight. Listen, if you have a business, if you are an artist, if you are a music program director, if you are a music director or a program director, we want you to look Miss Paula G up for a quality voiceover. We told you guys in 2022 to step your game up by having a music, a quality producer, a quality voiceover for your music, quality voiceover for your business, so that you can get the sales that you desire. Next, we have DJ G Weezy, DJ G Will, and he is always in the building. If you're looking for a DJ, I don't care what the event is, bar mitzvah, wedding, you want to have a virtual party, look up DJ G Will at beyondthefence.org. That's BEYONDAFENCE.org, beyondthefence.org. Last but not least, David, can I get a drum roll? Hey. Yep. That's right. You killed it. Let's Talk Business Consulting Strategy and Coaching Group, a Beyond the Fence, I forgot to say LLC, a Beyond the Fence expansion company. Listen, if you are a new business or an existing business, or you might have an idea for a business, let's talk business. We have taken businesses from zero to heroes. Overnight success is not possible, but we can help you get there. So let's talk business at aboutbuildingleaders@gmail.com. Reach into us and let us know what your vision is, and we will take you to the next level. Listen, I love how Coach David says it. We have a 100% success rate. There is not one person who has reached into us that have not had a level of success or upgrade within their business. So let's talk. Again, that's aboutbuildingleaders@gmail.com. Connect with us on Facebook at Let's Talk Business Consulting Group. Coach David, I'm going to hand it back to you.
Yes. Thank you. Shout out to all the sponsors. Yes. The topic today it was something that we were talking to Miss Tanya Caesar about earlier, and that's about connections. One thing about it, she's grateful to connect with us, but here's the thing, we're very much grateful to be connected with her as well. And I think connection is so important. And I have so many people complaining about their lives, and what's sad is I hear people complaining about people that they're close to. Your church, whether it's a church member or somebody in your family. You say this is your friend, but these are the people that you're talking about the most. But these are the people that you have in your inner circle. So for your sanity and your personality, sometimes your personality might not mesh with another person's personality. You know what? We got to start acting like that's a problem. It's okay. You just have to put yourself around those type of influences in your life that really match your personality, and that's how you mesh with other people. And the Bible says, you always say, well, spirit recognize spirit. But see, that's the thing. It's just really personality, because spirit is you can't see your thoughts. It only manifests through your actions. But first it starts in the spiritual world, which is our thought. God told us we're created in His image and His likeness. Therefore, He gave us the power to be able to create. So you can create your own narrative. You can create your own narrative, and by that you can start with putting yourself around people that fit your destination. But you gotta stop acting like you don't have the power. You gotta stop going outside yourself to try to get that power. It's already within you. When people was hungry, they said, Jesus, they hungry. And Jesus said, listen, man, you feed them. Jesus got a little irritated. He's like, how long do I got to be with you? It's up to us. God gave us the power, meaning the ability. So your connection with other people can either make you or break you. But if the ones who you are connected to don't mean you no good, never feel bad about breaking away, because you can still love them. But your elevation, you got to keep looking forward in your elevation. They got to be willing to stay not meeting up to their expectation. I mean, you got to do what's best for you, and that's not selfish. Coach Shay, you want to expand on that?
Well, you know what? With the time, I was going to ask Tanya if she had something to add to it. I do want to provide a scripture, but if I can, Coach David, just hand it over to Tanya and see. She had mentioned something regarding it. So, Tanya, do you want to expound on what Coach David was saying?
Well, based on what he said, like I said earlier, the connections are so important, and the idea of knowing when people are in your life for a season, winter, spring, summer, and fall, and if they're supposed to be the spring person and they're still in the fall season, then they may be causing you some issues because their season is up. But that being said, it's not the fact that their season is up because they're no longer your friend, but that closeness or the information you got from them or the connection you have with them not so much dies out, but they may not be as strong because their season is up. You have to know when a person's season is up in your life. If not, then they're no longer adding to, they're taking away from, because you're giving more than you're receiving. And when you're giving more than you're receiving, then you have a tendency to feel more drained because you're doing all of the giving and it's not an even take.
I agree with that. I think, having multiple businesses, both David and I having multiple businesses, we have had experiences where we are the ones giving so much more, and it's because we believe in people and we believe in the power of giving. But like you said, at some point you can get drained. So if you're listening tonight, know that if you're feeling drained in a situation, relationship or friendship, or even if it's at work, if you're feeling like you're giving more than you're getting, then it's probably time for you to reevaluate where you are. The scripture I wanted to read tonight was Ecclesiastes 4:9-12, and this is out of the New International Version, the NIV version. But it says, 2 are better than one because they have a good return for their labor. If either of them fall down, the other one can help the other one to get up. It says one can help the other up. But pity anyone who falls and has no one to help them up. Also, if 2 lie down together, they will keep warm. But how can you keep warm alone? Which means you cannot do this thing alone. The power of connection is so important. The power of connecting with the right people to labor with is important. In the first half, it says 2 are better than one because they have good return for their labor. But here's how this works. You can't just connect with anybody. This is what Coach David and Tanya is saying. You can't just connect with anybody. Some of us have had best friends from the time we were younger. Coach David, you are infamous for letting us know there's a lot of people you had to let go. There was a lot of people you had to let go. You had people who you grew up with, and, they didn't do you right. And they probably wouldn't be where you are in this season. I can tell you in the time frame that I've even been doing what I'm doing since 2014, my circle has been very, very small. And for the very few who fell off, when I look back and I look at how they fell off, I knew it was because they couldn't go. My apostle said something the other day, but sometimes when you go up, the air is too thick for people. They can't handle the thick air. And so it's not that they can't necessarily go. It's that not because they don't want to go, but the air is too thick up there. And so I think when we're trying to pull them up, to be honest with you, we can end up suffocating them and causing them to die because they weren't ready. Coach David, back to you.
And you know what? People got to understand when it comes to these relationships, even for the crooked people, right? Like, even the crooked people got to understand that the crowd of integrity, that's not your crowd. That's just honest. That's just the truth. That's not your crowd. So guess what? You got to go down there with the people with no integrity, with feeling no reason to live. And guess what? Those are the people that's going to kill each other. Those are the people that's going to put each other on Instagram and Facebook and think it's funny because they fighting. And that's what you're going to share out to your friends and think it's funny. People's pain is going to be your laughter. But guess what? That's those type of people. When you have that type of mentality and you your mind is going to be corrupted by those around you. So when you see genuine people and people of integrity and people of honor and people that's trying to really do something with their life, you're going to tell them they're not keeping it real. And you're not really realizing what real is because you have been taught what's real really is an illusion.
I got to say something right there.
Yes, go ahead, Coach Shay.
I remember a long time ago going on a cruise, how, here when I'm eating crab meat, I love it. And I went over into the Bahamas and I had some real crab meat and I hated it. I got so used to eating the imitation that when I tasted the real crab meat, I was like, I don't like this at all. I was like, I just don't like this at all.
Yeah. And that's because, you was already programmed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Your mind was already programmed to how this is how crab meat's supposed to taste.
Supposed to taste.
It tastes good to my taste buds. Now you tasted the real thing. It ain't that it was nasty. It just wasn't familiar to you, and you had an expectation of a certain type of taste. But
now, don't get me wrong. I eat my real crab, people. I eat my real crab. Don't get me wrong.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. That's what people have to realize, like, when we make these type of choices. So now, when it's come to being in the right crowd, then you have to understand the first person you have to look at is yourself first. Look at you first in the situation, because we have to realize that you may be the problem in that crowd. See? So if you're trying to get to a certain point of life, you are going to have to make certain changes in your life and live up to an expectation greater than you had for yourself yesterday. But you're going to have to always tell yourself that I'm trying to be greater every day. But you want to be around people who you can who can develop you. If you're always the smartest person in the room, then go to another room.
You always tell me that too, Coach David.
Yes, Miss Tanya, you want to say something? Tanya C's, you want to say something, expand on that one?
Well, again, I'm just enjoying the meat of the word, as they say, because you can always take something with you when you go. When you come with an open heart and mind, you come to listen, but you also come to learn. And as you just pointed out at the end, if you're the smartest person in the room, then leave the room. And that's so good, because at the end of the day, if I've gotten what I needed where I'm at, then it's time for another level. And it doesn't mean that I'm, more than anyone else, but it's just like if you've learned how to tie your shoes and you no longer need to learn that, then it's time for you to move up to the next thing, whatever the next thing is when it comes down to your education-wise. Because you learn how to tie your shoes in kindergarten, I guess, daycare, whatever. When you get to the first grade, you're doing your alphabets, and then you're learning something else. You know what I'm saying? So every like again, as Ms. Shay said, everything has a season. So with that being said, if what they're teaching in one room is what you've already learned, then it's no harm in tipping out and going out and say, well, let me see what's going on in this other room. Maybe it's something I need to know. It's all a part of networking too, because I'm learning something from you and you're learning something from me.
Yes, that's how it should be. I did want to share too, just the power. I have a saying, quality over quantity, and a lot of people feel because we have thousands and thousands and thousands of people around us that is what makes it look great. The reality is you can have 2 or 3 good people. Look at Beyond the Fence. You can have two or three good people. In our case, 5 great people who have so much meat in them. I mean, you think about the lineup in itself. We're all a group of people going beyond our fence. David did 13 years in the federal prison system. I was a young parent, 16, 17 years old when I had my first 2 children. G. Will, he used to be in the streets. Sean, I see you out there. Miss Alma, she has her story where she almost committed suicide with her and her children in the car. And Tanya, you have your story as well. And so who better to have experienced life or to experience life with, but those we're like the modern day X-Men. We just a BDS. We're like the modern day X-Men. We can go into any building and just be that one-stop shop that people need. But why not have a group like Beyond the Fence in your corner? Because it's a group of people doing that every single day. So many people, when we encounter people, because we're so good, people don't believe it. It's like, well, what's the catch? What's the catch? Our referral system is so great, but it's like, what's the catch? Because in this lifetime, people don't believe that good still exists. And that's what that's telling me, Coach David and Tanya, that if people have to question good, that means that they no longer believe that true good exists. Coach David, back to you.
Yes, that is definitely a blessing to hear both of you guys. Like, honestly, like I said, I really want people to understand the first thing about this when it's talking about what we love to hear, we'll go into the church, and we love when the pastor talk about somebody that we really don't agree with. So we'll amen real hard. You know how you be that person's Sister Johnson, and Sister Johnson out of pocket. So when the pastor say something related to Sister Johnson being out of pocket, you say, amen, you agree with that, right? So you're like, I don't want to be around that type of person. And we won't be around those type of people, right? But here's the thing. You may be the problem, too. And that's what I want to go back to, because I want people to look at self first. Look at self, because we don't want this to be an opportunity to say, well, I have to change my circle. I got to change the people I'm around without changing you. The first elevation should be you. Once you start elevating, it'll force you to change. It'll force you to, as you elevate, it'll force you just to be around certain type of people. Like Tanya said earlier, it ain't that you don't love them. It ain't like you don't care for them. It ain't like you don't vote for them or feel they're going to make it. It's just that you have elevated beyond the relationship that y'all once had. As far as for that, when you elevate people around you, the elevation of people, you're going to go to another tax bracket or just go to a higher plane in your spirit, your mindset development. You're going to be around more brilliant people because the people that you once was with is not talking on the same type of level. So you're not getting what you deserve, so you can continue to elevate because there's no ceiling in your elevation. People say sky's the limit. How? The sky ain't my limit. There is no limitation to my growth. There is no limitation to my growth. So the first person you need to focus on is you. Don't point the finger and say, I don't need to be around those people. Point the finger at you first. And as you develop, people will change in your life. And they're going to be people that just disagree with you, and they're going to feel that you should be held accountable. But you know what? You can't change them. You can just change how you respond to them. Keep it pushing. But you continue to love them and still remain humble. And guess what? Everything else is going to be smooth sailing for your lifestyle. Let's smile more. And that's just what it's about for me. I want to be around people who smile a lot. And Shay, she smiled a lot. G. Will smiled a lot. Miss Alma smiled a lot. DB Jr. definitely smiled a lot. Tanya, I see that you smile a lot. And that's why we tell people, are you smiling? Those are the type of people I want to be around, people who smile a lot. Because their energy and their spirit, people going to feel it. So when you go into a room, they're going to connect with what you give off. And when your circle change, it's going to be for the best for you and that circle. Just like it is with Tanya and Beyond the Fence. Beyond the Fence is definitely appreciative. I am definitely appreciative. And if she feels appreciated, and I want her to feel appreciated. Because that's how you do it when it comes to a family. So with that being said, before we close out, we got a couple of minutes right quick, Miss Tanya Caesar. We thank you for coming on to Beyond the Radio. We love you. We appreciate you. Tell everyone how can they find you and connect with you in this 1 minute.
Just 1 minute. Okay, here we go, real fast. You can find me on Facebook at TONYACEASAR. On Instagram, I am at Caesar Tanya, which is CEASARTONYA. Find my website, TanyaCaesar.com. And on YouTube, I am Tanya Caesar as well. So check me out. I have merch, and I have CDs and all that good stuff available. And you can find out more information about me because I am a part of Beyond the Fence in the house.
And you can also find her information by visiting the Facebook page Beyond the Radio, and make sure you like it while you're there. Well, David, I guess I'm going to close out. Go ahead.
Yes, close out, Coach Shay.
Yes. So, Tanya, we do want to say thank you. And to our listeners, we want to say thank you. Don't forget to tune in every Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you catch the playback every single Monday on Beyond the Radio by visiting the Facebook page. And make sure you visit the Beyond the Fence page as well to keep in touch with what we're doing. And for all of our concert dates, www.beyondthefence.org. We will see you all next week. And with that being said, where the music at? Where the music at?
Where the music? Where the
music?
Where the music?
Lord, where do I go? Left or right? I can't seem to see you nowhere in sight. My mind is feeling so confused right now. But I love you, Lord, and I just want to keep my vow to love you with all my heart, mind, and soul. And remember that no matter what, you're always in control. Standing at the crossroads. Help me, God, to fight this fight. Without you, Lord, I don't know what I'd do. I need you every day to lead and guide. I've got to have you, Lord, by my side. You know the enemy comes to steal, kill, and